Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Pipes. This is the podcast for all plumbing fanatics, homeowners, and people who want to know about plumbing and how to save on it. Today we are talking about savings, but first I want to introduce myself. My name is Andre and I will be your host for today's episode. How to save a buck on plumbing. I know you all have been in a situation, you get your water bill and it's all of a sudden it's two, three, $400 more than it's supposed to be. And you didn't do anything different. So most of the times we have like silent leaks, like toilet leaking. We have to change out the flapper, or we just using too much water overall. I mean, if you have kids, and I do have three kids, and I know my daughter, she likes to take really long showers, and if we don't to keep track of that, she will stand there for like an hour and just enjoying the hot water, and then we run out of hot water, we have a higher water bill and a higher gas bill because we need to heat the water more often. So yeah, no, it's not fun getting this shock at the end of the month with a high water bill. So that's why we decided to make an episode on how to actually save some money on your water usage. So the best thing you can do is identify weak spots and try to figure out where your leaks are coming from. A good way to do is check your toilets, your toilet flappers. This is where most leaks occur, which you can't find or see because they're silent. They just leak into the toilet bowl and go into the drain. There's no wet spots. You can see nothing. Check your taps for dripping. You can lose a lot of water for a dripping tap, and also your bathtubs. It's a good idea to check them occasionally to see if they're actually leaking. But there's another way to save actually water. If there's no leaks in your house and you couldn't find any leaks and you don't do anything different, but you want to save some money, what's the way to go about it? So for starters, check your fixtures, check your faucets. Are they quite old? Are they still having a high flow rate? The flow rate determines on how much water comes out per minute. The older fixtures, they still have like a flow rate, but hovers around 3.5 gallon, 2.5, 2.2 gallon per minute. What is quite high, given the fact that an average person uses about 100 gallon of water a day, 100 to 120 gallon of water a day. With a low flow fixture, a low flow shower head, for example, you could actually go to 1.5 gallon per minute, which would save you probably roughly 30% on your daily showers and brushing your teeth, shaving, all this stuff. Let's say you're using like 100 gallon a day. Let's say 30 gallon is to flush the toilets. 2 gallon you drink. Leaves us with about 68 gallon of water what we're using for washing dishes, washing our face, showering, and all that jazz. And let's say we can save 30% of 68 gallon a day per person. What would be roughly what 15 to 20 gallon, I would say, per day we could actually save per day per person if we switch over to low flow fixtures. But at the end, gives you cash back in your pocket. Another thing you should think about your toilets. How much do you actually flush per flush? All the toilets they still use and also need 3.5 gallon per flush. These are designed for this amount of water. Putting rocks or filled bottles in there to lower the water level does not benefit you at all. You have to be there very careful. They have this big tank because they need that big tank. The route to go is change it to a low flush toilet. The newer models they vary between 1.2 gallon to 1.6 gallon per flush, comparing to the old ones who were using 3.5. So it's almost double the water the older ones use. A few high-end models also use less than a gallon per flush. And you don't have to be worried because these toilets are designed to use less water. The bowls are different shaped inside. They push the water different through than the older ones. So here comes the thing, putting rocks in to lower your water level in your old tank does not benefit you because they need that much water. But my favorite toilet is the toilet Toto Drake. It's like a mid-price toilet. They have a very good flush. They come with 1.2 or 1.6 gallon per flush, and they're great. They're easy to clean. No, I'm not getting paid from Toto to say that. This is my favorite toilet. I'm installing this new model for like over 2 years now, and all my clients installed it. They just love it. Toto Drake comes in different sizes and shapes. We have the rounded shape. We have the elongated shape. I think they come in different heights as well. They also come in a skirted version, but it's a little bit more expensive. But totally worth it if you like to clean around the toilet easier. Yeah, look into that. Toto Drake. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. The Toto Drake is one of the best toilets ever made, in my opinion. Look into that if you want to save a buck on your flush. Go with a high efficient toilet, and you will save cash and can take your family out for dinner by the end of the year, just from water savings. We can do the math on the flushes. The average person flushes the toilet around 5 times a day. So if you have an old toilet and use 3.5 gallon a flush, we are looking at 17.5 gallon per person in one household. So let's take the five flushes and put it into the 1.28 gallon. That's kind of the middle between 1.6 and less than a gallon, 1.28. What would be 6.4 gallons? So you would actually save, if I'm doing the math right, 11.1 gallon. 70.5 minus 6.4, you would save 11.1 gallon of water per day per person. This adds up. It doesn't sound like much, but this adds up over the year, and you can actually save really, really good on your water savings. So what is another way to save some cash on your plumbing? Let's talk about tankless water heaters for a second. Some people love them, some people don't like them at all. What do? Your old tank is wasting your money. Let's say you have 50 gallon a tank water heater, what is sitting there. So the water in your tank will stay warm for a while, but it will cool down. If you don't use it, it will start reheating after a while the old water until it reaches temperature. So there's a possibility that you reheat the same water over and over again, especially if you go on vacation and forgot to switch your valve to vacation mode. It will just keep reheating the same water. Also, you are limited on what you can use. 50 gallon, this is 2.5 bathtubs mixed with cold water. For example, I have 3 kids. If they take baths after each other and I want to take a shower later, I am having a cold shower. Yes, you are limited on what you can use, and you use more gas at the end as well. What cost you money? So with the tankless, they were way better now than they were when they came out. You only really use what you actually need. So it will heat up quite quickly, and it's a continuous flow. That means there's endless hot water. You can run hot water all day if you like. So there's no more cold showers. If you are the last person like me taking a shower, you don't have a cold shower. But it's very great if you have a big family. And they're more efficient. They have, I think, over 90% efficiency. That means you use less gas and you actually save money at the end. And yeah, they're a little bit costly. They're quite an investment, but you will get your money back for sure if you have a big family and take nice long showers like my daughter does. If we're gonna install, when my water heater goes, we're gonna install a tankless water heater, and I might put a limit on my daughter's water usage. Maybe it's like a timer, but it turns off the the tankless water heater. Yeah, to get out of the shower. Otherwise, she will never get out again and probably grow fins or something. So, but with the tankless water heaters, they do have a downside, and the downside is they need to be descaled probably once a year. think, depending on your water quality, maybe even twice a year. I usually recommend a water softener if you have a tankless, just because in a tankless, because they're so efficient, the heat exchanger actually has very, very small pipes, and they can calcify and plug up, what would mean they are not as efficient. Sometimes they even plug so much up you don't get hot water at all. So they need to be descaled, I would once to twice a year. If you go once a year, you're most likely fine. But also, I also always recommend putting a water softener in front, just to have less chance of calcifying the little pipes in the heat exchanger, that can actually cause really big problems. Keep it efficient by descaling it and taking care of it, and you'll be fine. Sometimes people complain it takes too long to get hot water. It does and it doesn't. The pipe length is still the same from your tank water heater to your fixtures and from your tankless water heater to your fixture. And of course, the pipe is filled with cold water, so it will take a little bit, but it will take a little bit for your tank too. And the time it takes for the flow switch in the tankless to start up, that's only a second or two. So it's just a misconception, because people think, oh, have limitless hot water doesn't mean instant hot water. It will still take the same time, it's the same amount of time to get hot water to your fixture. To avoid that, the solution would be to install a recirc line. You could install it on your tank as well. Basically, the recirc line, what it does, it just pumps through the tank and maintains a warm circle in your pipe. So you always have hot water in your pipe, and you don't have to wait for hot water to arrive. Then another thing what people complain about is the cold water sandwich. Well, it means you have really hot water, and then a gush of cold water comes through the pipes, and then hot again. So sometimes it's a problem with the gas line. Sometimes the gas lines are undersized, and then the tankless basically starves, turns off, and turns on again. So this can happen if you have an undersized gas line or not enough gas pressure. Or sometimes if you use two fixtures at the same time, this can happen as well. Or you have mineral buildup, but your flow sensor is damaged, and this will happen as well. So there's a few. If you get a cold water sandwich, there's usually something wrong with your tankless water heater. It's not the tankless fault, it's something is wrong inside with your water, with your gas line, or you just have mineral built up in your tank. So it means you need to have a descale. So this is about what tankless water heaters. I think they're great. Personally, I think they're super fantastic. Sometimes you don't have an option for it, depending on how the location is. For sure, don't install an electric tankless. They are not efficient enough. You don't save money. Make sure it's a natural gas or propane gas tankless. They are more efficient, and then you will actually save money. And they have less problems than the electric ones. So let's talk about leak detection. How to check your toilets for leaks if you have flappers leaking or something like this. A nice little trick I usually do is take a few drips of food coloring, put it in a tank, and if I see the food coloring coming out of the bowl, then you have a leak. Then you might need to change your flapper or your flush valve. But then you know, hey, this is where I lose water. What the F? I need to change my flapper. Maybe I change the toilet. Maybe I put a high efficient toilet in there and save a little bit more than just a flapper. So another good thing to do is monitor your usage. Some people just pay the bill. They don't look what they used. Always compare it with the last month's usage and see, hey, did I use more? Did I use significantly more? Did I use there's an open pipe somewhere more? Maybe I use less? So, and to monitor this is sometimes a little tricky because these companies are not very accurate. A lot of times you just pay a monthly fee and you see your end bill at the end of the year. This is how this is set up here. We pay a set amount every month, and at the year we get the last bill, what could be higher. Sometimes we get a credit, sometimes we pay a little more, and then they reconfigure your monthly payment based on that. If you want to monitor your water usage month to month or day to day, a good way to do is to install a smart valve. What is a smart valve? A smart valve is something what shuts your water off if there's a sudden loss of pressure. It also detects unusual usage and will alert you. You can usually they get installed right after the water meter, and they detect your usage. They will record your usage. You can hook them to your Wi-Fi, to your phone. You get an app on your phone. You can read your usage in real time, and you can also remotely shut off your water if you like. So if you're on vacation, for example, and you see, oh, I got a burst pipe somewhere. I just got an alert from my smart valve and there's a burst pipe. It shut off. You can see that there must be a water leak somewhere. You can call a plumber. He comes out. You're on vacation. He comes out, get it fixed, and when you come home, you're good to go. These smart valves are quite great. They came a long way the last few years. The first ones when they came out, they called like leak detectors or something. I think I installed them like 10, 12 years ago, and they were just garbage. The leak detector actually leaked. That was interesting. The first one I installed leaked right from the get-go, right off the box. They came a long way. They are actually very high technology now. Like I said, it's basically like a computer you put in your water system. What senses flow, what senses more leaks as well. If there's like a dripping faucet, it will alert you because there's such a small amount that's coming out constantly, but it will detect a small amount. It will alert you and say, hey, there's something that's dripping, there's an open faucet, whatever, or pinhole leak, and it will tell you, and then you can shut the water off from your phone. That's great. Everything goes from your phone nowadays. Can you actually call somebody on your phone nowadays anymore? I don't know. You might have to buy an app for that. So yeah, other than that, what you can do, if you are very, very worried about leakage around your water heater or laundry, these smart valves actually connect with two leak detectors as well. These leak detectors is something you put actually on your somewhere around your baseboard, usually, and then connect to via Wi-Fi to your smart valve, and they detect moisture on your floor in this room. When they come in contact with water, they will give an alert to the smart valve and to your phone as well, and then it shuts. You can set it like if it gets an alert, it will shut off. So it's a nice little thing. It can save your water in the long run. Also, it's a peace of mind for safety. And if you're on vacation, have something like this installed, great, because hey, you don't want to be somewhere in Mexico and then come home and your whole house is washed out just because you didn't have a smart valve. So yeah, always watch for dripping faucets, outside taps. Sometimes get forgotten to shut off. A little drip of water can actually cost you a lot of money. Let's do the math here for a second. It's 1 drip per second comes to 5 gallons per day, what is over 2,000 gallons per year. But depending on your water price, it's a lot of money. And if this goes down the drain, well, excuse me, if this goes down the drain, well, I know my wife is pretty pissed. And yeah, yours probably too. So let's sum this up. How to save water, low flow and high efficient toilets on your faucets and toilets. Tankless water heaters are more efficient, will save you a lot of money in the long run, and they're more convenient. I'm not gonna lie, they're great. And you need to watch your toilets, leaks, dripping faucets, etc. Everything what's using water can leak. To check it once in a month takes you maybe 10 minutes of your day and it gives you peace of mind. Monitor your usage. Best way to go with that, install a smart valve and leak detectors in high risk areas like laundry room, mechanical room where water heater is, and maybe even underneath your dishwasher. If your dishwasher is leaking, you usually only see it when it's too late, unless it's coming out in the front. Okay, if you follow this, you should save enough money to take your family once or twice, maybe 3 times a year to dinner, depending on how the prices at the moment are. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, hit the follow button, subscribe to my Spotify account. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Behrens Plumbing, Behrens Plumbing. You can also visit my website. It's www.behrensplumbing.com. And if you live in Saskatoon area and you need a great plumber, give us a call. Visit our website. You can book a service call online. I would be honored to serve you and tell you more about high efficient toilets and low flowing fixtures and tankless water heaters. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time.